What's up, YouTube? Check it out. You see this big pile of bright metal here? You know what all that is? That is all the inner and outer trim for the Galaxie windshield, to include the cowl piece, which will be getting painted before it goes back on. So, you know what that means? That means I am popping this old nasty windshield out. This is the windshield that I pulled from a 63 Mercury Monterey 4-door hardtop, 4-door post, I believe. And it's got delamination bubbles in it. It's had them since I got it, but the windshield was complete and it didn't have any chips or anything several years ago when I put it in. I wanted a new windshield, and Summit came out with Galaxie windshields for this model. And they were $186 apparently, with $60 shipping. And what I'm going to be doing is taking it over to get the glass put in. So I'm getting ready to take it over and drop it off. However, I wanted to shoot this video real quick. The seal should be good, because I put this windshield in with a brand new seal probably 6-7 years ago. And the roof was perfectly painted, but as you can see, the paint is peeling. I had to put, because this is a 4-door windshield, it didn't really fit. So these corners didn't really sit in here very well, so there's gaps. So I put aluminum tape over them, and I noticed that it actually peeled my paint up when I was, actually this was already peeling, but taking it off here, like, it pulled the paint right off. I'm going to do a lot better prep work when I do put it back together. I got to get new hardware for these. These are little 1/4-inch drive self-tappers, and then I'm missing a couple of just the little trim screws. Literally a Phillips head bit driver and a 1/4-inch bit driver, and I was able to take all the trim off to get this thing out. So, oh sorry, these are actually Phillips head trim screws, and these are where the 1/4-inch drive or 1/4-inch bits go for all those screws. Anywho, next time I see this, it'll have a brand new pretty windshield in it. It'll be nice and clear. I can't wait. I'm going to do some nice work and get this thing prepped up. The funny thing is after the hurricane, there was so much debris under here that even when I pulled it off now, there was pieces of wood like up underneath here where the hurricane had blown it up under. That is crazy. I'm just glad she survived the hurricane. But that's it for now. Show you again once it's done. Well, here we go. Just got her back home. Man, it looks so nice. So, brand new windshield. Oh, in the 64. Absolutely gorgeous. And it even comes with the knob for the windshield, or for the rearview mirror. Guy did a really good job putting it in. Apparently he specialized in doing old cars. And did a fantastic job. He was saying that my original windshield, not my original windshield, the first one they ordered, like I said, I got this one from Summit. The first one came in, it was actually broken, so this took me about an extra week of waiting around for the windshield to actually come in. They didn't replace the gasket because the gasket was only about 7 years old, like I said, but he said it went in no problem. So it was still nice and pliable. Before I put this back together, like I said, I'm going to put some sealer on those holes. I'm going to paint some stuff up and make it look a lot better. Heck, it looks so good I might have to pull out my dash pod and paint those gauges up and clean everything up. But heck yeah, man, she looks beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and clean up all the clips that basically run across the top of the windshield to hold on the trim, but just using the wire wheel. So they're coming out pretty decent compared to what they were. This is the old one. Clean those up, and I'm going to shoot some paint on. I'll probably have to take a little bit of a wire brush to clean them up a little bit better to my standards, but I'll put some paint on them just to make them last a little bit longer, because I definitely don't want these things rusting out. I'm going to go ahead and shoot a little Rust-Oleum on these just to make sure that they don't rust anymore. This is kind of an off-white. Best thing I got as far as Rust-Oleum is concerned. I was going to do them black, but you know what? Doesn't matter. Make them look good. That paint doesn't work. Well, apparently my paint is clogged, so Another guy showed how to do this. Take a little carb cleaner with a straw. You can only do it basically on these kind of nozzles, and put the straw in there. Fits perfect. There it goes. Cleans it out like a whistle. Nice. Oh, that's blowing right on you. Remember to spray in light, even coats. Good enough for that side. Well, it's nice and cool this morning. Figured I'd go ahead and start getting the trim put back on before it warmed up. The tabs that I painted are all underneath that top piece right there. So that's the first thing basically that goes on. Got those on, and then you pop the trim on. It goes from the bottom, then snaps up over the top, and there's an empty hole on each end. Put a screw in there, and then to put this piece on, I didn't want to take off my drip rail trim, because that one's just a pain in the butt to get off and back on. I don't have the proper tools for it, and I don't want to mess it up. So when I took it off, I took off all the screws on the inside. There's one there, there, and there, as you can see, and then basically picked up on it, popped it off of this edge, and then popped it off that edge, and it slid out. Or sorry, didn't pop it off this, popped it off that edge, and then it slides off of this one this way. And so that was real easy, but putting it back on was a little more difficult because this little edge right here has to sit down inside there. So basically, once again, set it on here, slid it over this piece, and then kind of hooked that edge, and then brought this edge down and used a screwdriver to kind of push up on it for that side. But over here, I actually did it a little bit different. This one, I think that edge over there is a little more pulled down, so this one was a little more crimped. So once again, slid it over, and then fed this edge straight in, and then just kind of bumped it with the palm of my hand and popped that edge over, and it worked really well. So now, just got to finish putting the screws in the edge here. Took all these out with the drill and Phillips bit, but I'm going to put them back in by hand because I don't want to mess nothing up. And I'm going to have to put all the trim back on in the inside. Okay, I see I'm missing a screw down here. Only put 3 on each side, and I only remember taking out 3 from each side, so I know I'm missing a few trim pieces, hardware. One of the big headed screws that hold on the trim for the roof, for the top sill, and then for the bottom piece of trim along the bottom of the windshield. They're almost the exact same size as these guys as far as the thread, but they have a bigger head on them. And I know I had one missing when I took it all apart, and then when I was taking everything apart, I dropped another one. It rolled down into the engine compartment, and I could not find it. Like I said, I'm going to put the trim on the bottom, which will go on next, and then I have to put on the cowl vent, which that's actually going to get painted before it goes on, so that is going to be a little while before that one goes back on. But I'm going to go ahead and clean up my windshield wiper mechanism and everything, because that one squeaks. So here's those large headed trim screws I was telling you about. That's what goes across the top rail and then holds each one of these on all the way across, and like I said, I lost a couple of them. So, and then I was just looking in here to see what I need to do to grease up my windshield wiper arms, and look at this. Ah, that's awesome. There's no clip on there at all. Amazingly, gravity held them together. But so now I gotta figure that out. It's really clean down in there though. That's nice. Alright, don't forget, you gotta have your doors open for this one. Jets are coming in. going to start them nice and loose. Slide everything together, make sure it lines up. Tighten them down. Alright, I'm going to keep one of them out so I can go to the store and get another. This is all back together, trimmed in, parts and pieces back on. You can see the neighborhood cat walked down my windshield. Oh well, you can put up with some muddy footprints as long as they keep the rats and snakes away. That's fine with me. Let me get it cleaned up. And there we go. Crystal clear. Man, I like that. Gotta adjust my mirror a little bit. Oh, tighten it up. Any of y'all have this style mirror with the day and night selector? Basically just flips it a little bit. Versus having to manually adjust it, you can just push a button with both hands. Got all my trim back in. I know I need to do some work in here. First I gotta rebuild the carburetor because it's starting to kind of pop and things under hard acceleration. But get that pot out of there, repaint everything and make it look pretty. Just as nice as the Jeep. Anyway, that's it for this video. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. Throw different videos up here. Jeep, Galaxie, and miscellaneous house projects. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.